Good morning. Oh, I am late today. I know because I see, I guess in the right position. I have my thing that makes me so. Oh, I don't know if it's fully on. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. There we go. My thing that makes me sound better. We're gonna be doing the frame around Callista, and FE3H OC. Like you're a big fish. What kind of fish? She would be a beta fish, probably. They have a lot of posturing, but are also secretly violent. Yeah, Fire Emblem. How do I want to do? Yes, where's the decorative one there? No, that's yeah. Does it just have a different? I guess when it's effect, it's that one. I want like a something I can do a fun line with. Maybe this was. Let's see this for. Oh yeah, for the stripes on Hilda. Let me see. I'm entertaining to cats. This is my peak form. What is like the? I want like a border kind of effect. What should that look like? Border. Oh, hi. I give her like want the yes, Patreon. I want the like tragedy comedy masks. Comedy and tragedy masks, yes. Just, you know, like scribble in some vague vibes. Comedy masks makes me think of The Amazing Digital Circus, which is having a new episode on the 12th, I think, which I am very excited for. They have like big chins. And then, yeah, I watched the trailer for it yesterday, and I am super pumped. Yeah, I think I started earlier this summer, or like early in the summer, and then, because it was right before, I think it was 2 episodes ago, it was either 1 or 2 episodes ago, and then like the new episode came out the next week, and so I've gotten my brother really into it, so, if it comes out on the 12th, okay, I probably won't see it until the 16th, because now that I've gotten my brother into it, we've been watching them together. And so we may want to watch it together. I think that's what we did for the last one. I have drawn 1 piece of fan art, and that is, hang on, let me see if I can quickly find it. I had a purple corn juice like drink, and I drew Jax's face onto it. This is the 1 piece of fan art that I've done. It's my Renfest outfit. It would have been... Okay, I don't think that I can find it. It might be on my Blue Sky, actually. That probably would have been an easier thing to check. I was just scrolling through, because I was at my, a friend of mine really likes, there it is, yeah, okay. I really likes The Amazing Digital Circus too, and so, when I saw the purple corn drink, there we go. This is the only piece of fan art that I've drawn, but I'm incredibly proud of it. But... when you become the thing that you fear. I'm basically drawing corn now. I need like lower daily kind of things. See, I draw this kind of thing a lot for work, so you'd expect that I'd just be able to do it, but alas. Okay, I know I need some stuff. Moons always slap. I'm gonna do this one where it's a vertical and horizontal. Ruler. Draw a new ruler. Sense of symmetry is 4. Then we're gonna grab it, move it to the center. Yeah! Okay, and now we're gonna not draw on that layer. So we need the waxing gibbon. Waxing / waning gibbon. Well, I'm gonna be honest, it does look better if you don't include the gibbons or the halves. But it's also my drawing, so I can do what I want. And I like accurate moon phases. It's half. I'm basically just doing the quarters, and then... moon. It does regrettably look better if you don't have accurate moon phases. Here, we're gonna actually instead... so down here is free. So we're gonna actually... See, I made that whole mirroring thing, and then I'm gonna not use it. Because I want the... what did I put it on? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna do the moon faces here, and I'm gonna do the... Now, what do we want to do for... do this as like... now we get it back. It's like the sun. Bam, bam, bam. And then I have like a kind of cloud effect. Let's turn off the 4-way mirroring. Something like that. Try to do these in. So if we make the card much darker. This is not color picking accurately whatsoever. Because, like, okay. We see this color. R11, G10, B15. R60. Why are you... There's something... I don't understand the, See, that's one of my only, like, complaints about CSP is their color picker tool. Because it seems to operate off of things that I do not understand. So now I have to, like... Like this is about accurate. I just do not understand. It confuses me. I wish it did not. This should be like this. The red. The shadows do go down to that, like, kind of gray color, though. We can also just keep them on separate layers. Something like... I'm gonna do it from the center. Okay. Maybe if we make this be like an ad. I hate doing mirrored stars, specifically when I cannot, like, I guess I think that it would just be easier to, like, draw it here and then move it over. Just gonna get forward and forward. Okay. You know, I could zoom in. That is always an option. Is it an option that I'm presently taking? No. The reason why? I don't know. Why did I draw a star? Why did I draw something that would have to be so perfectly mirrored? It's not. It's so not perfectly set up. It's fine. Everything's fine. You know what? This can stay. I have a similar situation here, except for circles. Much easier to do. I lied. Wait, I had this on the, so I'll at least get a vertical symmetry on this. I need to just zoom in on these. This was also a vertical mirror. These are very chunky lines. Curl around. Need to go away. This is where this goes. And then this we're just going to do as a ring. I'm going to do these in red. Okay. I'm going to masks. So we're gonna do the... I'm gonna do the sad one first. Is there a way to make my eraser just like much softer? Still a bit too hard. Okay, that way I can erase things without having to like be hitting this button up here. Yeah. I think of... Oh, there, okay. My face looked like it was frozen for a second. I'm trying to think of what I'm doing, what I'm up to this week. I think it's too soft, actually. I lied. So I joined a... this character, Callista, is from a Fire Emblem roleplay that I'm joining. And that's... I'm probably gonna be up to that for a bit of this week. And then... I don't have any, like, big thing. Oh, I have, more progress on House will be made, which is exciting. It's been at a bit of a standstill for the last little bit, but I'm gonna hear back from some people tomorrow, I think. So that'll be fun. Been a little bit worried about that, just like, I don't know. I've had a lot of stuff going on, which may chill out in the next little bit, but just like the amount of stuff has got me a little bit stressed. So I was like, I'm gonna refocus on like my body and exercising and that kind of thing, and then I promptly over-exercised. So, you know, I'm real good at this, y'all. So probably actually no exercising for me today. I've been doing Beat Saber, which is very fun. And I might take out, I have a DDR mat, because I used to do DDR a lot. And I might do some of that, because I think that there's like, I love Beat Saber. I love rhythm games. My problem is, like, I feel like you get very much a different exercise from doing Beat Saber versus DDR. And I think that DDR gets you much more, like, cardio exercise because you're actually, like, more physically moving your body. Which is good for, like, base fitness and all that. But I also, because, like, all of my other exercises don't involve my arms. So that's a part of what Beat Saber is really good for me. Is that, like, okay, I'm actually using my arms a little bit. And I've heard, because I was looking up, like, oh, what if you put, like, weights on your arms and that kind of thing. I've heard mixed reviews on doing that, where it's like, it can hurt your arms because your arms aren't meant to be moving that fast with weight on them, or it can be fine and just, like, make it a good workout. So I don't know. I think it would be fun to try at some point, just because, like, that is a really good source of exercise for me, but I also do not know. Because I definitely am sick and tired of getting hurt. I didn't lock this layer. Really, my main problem with my DDR mat is, so I used to have a nice one where it would, well, it was one of those like plastic ones that you could get online, but I had taken. Oh, this can't go underneath that. This has to go over it. I had taken like one of those cheap plastic ones that were like, I guess I would call them fabric. And then I had with my parents' help, I had like screwed it into two pieces of wood so it could like fold up and all that. I didn't use it for a long time, so I got rid of it. And I kind of regret that. On one hand, I'm glad that somebody got to use it for all the time that like I just wasn't into like DDR and that kind of thing. On the other hand, I wish I still had it. But and I could do it again. I just like make another one. I'm very tired, and that would be effort. But I have a fabric one, and it works. It shifts around a bit because it is not into anything. And like I have thought of like maybe once I have my own place and all that, maybe I will save up and get one of those nice metal ones. Because I've seen them go on the market a few times. And of course there's like what are they, the Cobalt Flex ones that are like, they're supposed to like revolutionize the world of DDR. And they've been saying that they'll come out soon for like the next like, since I first got into DDR, which was years and years and years ago. But I think that they were going to be under $100, which is like cheap for DDR mats. Because like if those release, I'll buy one. Because I want a metal mat. They're just so much nicer. I used to live near a place that had a DDR mat, but alas, you cannot find them in the wild anymore. It makes me so sad. Here, let me see. Cobalt Flux. Are they out? They're sold out. No, this one I don't think was the cheaper one. I think this one was the more expensive one. When did they come out? DDR. No, they came out like ages ago. Was it LTEC? No. Coming soon. DDR metal mat coming soon. Okay. I don't remember what it was that there's one that I was following and I was very excited for. I hope that they are doing well. Even if I cannot follow and support them anymore. Might be like just like enough time of them never getting released that they've kind of just fallen off the internet. I might grab something to drink real fast. I'm thirsty. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright. Ew. I need to stop wearing my glasses with these headphones. I got a helix piercing a few months ago. And it got real inflamed recently. And so it gets mad when I wear, so now I have a longer post in. I did not know that there was this much drama with helix piercings. They are opinionated. But I went back to my piercer, got it all like fixed and all set up to be healthy. But since I now have a longer post, because they're like, I was struggling with cleaning it. They're like, we're gonna give you a longer post. That way it's harder for you to fuck this up. With that, it can like bump into things a little bit more easily, which is very annoying. And so I was honestly at the start trying not to wear my glasses, but apparently my eyesight's gotten bad enough that I can't, like, see, so I can't read the screen when I'm playing Fire Emblem. Like, I can't read the small text, even though it's on, like, a TV screen, and so I'm like, I really should get my eyes checked again. Because, like, okay, every, like, the last 3 times that I've been to the doctor, and not the optometrist, the doctor, and they've checked my eyes, they've said that I have 20/20 vision, which isn't true. I don't know, not what I'm doing wrong. I guess what is happening that way they get it, like, so off. I mean, I don't have super bad eyesight, I don't think. But, like, I can't read my TV screen without glasses, and so I definitely need them for, like, I don't need them because I can't, well, it does cause impact my gaming, Which, you know, is the real reason why people get glasses. Is to become stronger gamers. But, no. I sometimes have a problem, like, reading road signs from far away, and then I'll get up to them and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're not making the turn this time. Which is annoying. Ugh. Okay. Let me select this guy. And bring him down to this layer down here. Oh! That was bad because it isn't clipped as well. Yeah, so this will probably be the main thing that happens this week. So this is nearly perfect, and I knew there was a problem. Eventually the update, and as I was doing well on the lower numbers of videos, more tests. Yeah. I think I'm nearsighted. The sightedness is the one that you can see, right? Because I can see near things. Like, I don't have my glasses on right now. That is the problem, is like, because I can see everything that's near to me, and I do so much work on computers and that kind of thing, or like drawing a sketchbook, or that kind of thing. I will take off my glasses. And then later I will be trying to find them, and I cannot find them. You can see fine, near you, far sight is that you can see far away but not near. Yeah, okay, so I'm nearsighted. Yeah, I don't know why. I just never developed the habit. Yeah, I've gotten in and out of the habit. When I was little, I really wanted glasses because my brother had glasses. And I was like, he's so cool, I want glasses too. And so I got glasses when I was just barely, like, qualified for them. And it's funny because he doesn't wear his glasses anymore. He, like, wears contacts. And yeah, I do drive. I, alas, live in the US, in which it is mandatory unless you live in, like, New York? I think New York and then, like, LA, I guess San Francisco, are, like, the kind of cities where you don't really need a car. But otherwise it's like my brother tried very hard, not big cities with developed public transportation, yeah. We have, like, in some of the cities near me, we have decent public transportation. Nothing near, like, the bigger cities in the US or basically anything abroad. But my brother tried so hard to not have to get a car. And alas, the America's shitty public transportation system won. But he put in a valiant effort. I wish, like, auto always wins. I wish that we had, I'm gonna be honest, not even buses. I wish that we had better train systems. Cause, like, I have a hard time getting myself to go on vacation, especially to travel anywhere, because I am very much constantly like, I'm basically constantly calculating in my brain, and it's dumb and not helpful to myself, but I'm basically constantly calculating, like, am I having enough fun that this justifies the amount of time that I've, like, taken off of work when I could just be, like, at home resting. And I know that planes stress me out less than most people. I have no stress with the flying. I have stress with the people and the airport. Airports suck. I'm not the biggest fan of crowds. And, like, also as somebody who gets sick easily, I'm like, I don't want to be crammed in a metal tube with a bunch of people. And whenever somebody coughs, I can hear it, and I'm like, yeah, just for, like, yeah, that is, like, very much so. And especially if you're, like, if the way that you are traveling is very much, like, go, go, busy, go, 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 I get so tired. And I'm like, that's not my vibe. I would be very down for, like, so, of the, like, trips that I have, like, goal trips that I want to make, I want to go, so, I've been learning Chinese on and off since I was 5 years old, and once I become fluent, I want to travel to China, and eat a bunch of food, because I also really love, I think, specifically, like, Shanghai's, like, cuisine. It just is very good. Shanghai has generally more spicy food, and I think it would be very fun as, like, a little celebration of things. The other ones, like, I have desires to travel to places for conferences, which may just be one of the most workaholic things that I've said. But, like, conferences or conventions, I have a lot of fun at them. It's like working but more fun. So I'd love to go to Lightbox. Lightbox GDC. I think Lightbox is the one that I want to go to most right now. And, like, of course, I would love to go to, like, I actually don't know if I would actually want to travel for them right now. Like, I used to have going to, like, San Francisco Comic-Con being one of my, like, back when I did a lot of vending, that was one of my, like, I want to be able to go here, not necessarily to vend there, because vending there is incredibly competitive, but I wanted to, like, be there someday, and I don't know if I still do. At least, like, I mean, it would, if I could get teleported there, maybe. But I don't know, I'm very much, like, so I've been on one cruise, and I genuinely enjoyed it. This was pre-COVID, and I don't know if I can go on a cruise again, because, like, now that I know all of the things about it, about the cruise industry, and also, like, how much they're, like, super spreaders, and, like, I got sick back when I had a functioning immune system. I still have a functioning immune system, it's just, I have a debuff now. I honestly probably am more stressed about it than I need to be, because, like, it hasn't flared up much, but it does make me, like, be a little bit more nervous about crowds and that kind of thing. But, like, the thing that I loved, yeah, like, COVID was fucking traumatizing. And, like, I would hate to, I would hate to go on vacation to get sick. Get sick. And then, like, just spend the rest of the time, like, oh, I guess I've spent all my vacation days and stuff on this. That's just stressful when you could just stay home and, like, watch me. Well, I couldn't do that, but, like, stay home, watch a show, draw. Get travel insurance. Yeah, you still waste time and have the experience ruined. Yeah. And so, like, I think that if I don't think that I would do a cruise again. At least not with how the world is currently and how it's looking to be for the near future. That would just, like... They have too much pollution, too much sickness, too much... all of these things. And I think I would much rather, like, if I were to do something like that, like, take a train? I really don't care what the environment is. Okay, here's two things that I would love to do. Go somewhere for a like all-inclusive resort, because that was the thing that I loved the most about being on a cruise, was just I had my family, everybody was fed, everybody was happy, everybody got to eat whatever they wanted, and there was like warm weather, and it was just like everyone just got to hang out while like getting their needs met and like not having to put any effort into that, and that was great. Peak. Everyone got to relax. And the other one that I would be down to do would be like a over there in North and South America, hypothetically. I wish that we put more infrastructure into trains. Because trains, like, I don't think that you have to be as close to other people, and there's also, like, I don't know, trains just feel less stressful with the whole, like, the people arrangement. And, like, you don't have to do the airport. I'm very good at navigating an airport. I'm very efficient. I get to my gate very early. I get myself set up, like, a little bit away from the gate with, like, a charger, like a switch, and I'm very good. That's the most neurotypical thing that I've said. Or not neurotypical, neurodivergent. Like, I'm very good at managing my stress in an airport. I have tactics. There is an order to which you do things. God. But, yeah, I feel like trains would be a lot easier. And then I could, like, because my other thing is, like, if I'm going somewhere, I want to experience the culture. A big part of, like, my motivations to travel anywhere, when I do have them, it's either because there's something there that I want to do, or there's something there that I want to eat. I like food. Food slaps. And, like, it is, like, generally always so much better than, like, when it's been, like, ported to America, or it tastes, like, just different in a fun way. And I love food. Food is great. That's a big part of my motivation to go to China, is I love Chinese food. And also the fact that I've been spending so long learning the language. I need to just sit down, of all of my different projects that I've invested tons of time into, I need to, like, spend a year and learn the language. I think I might be able to finish, if I made it, like, a project, like, capital P project, I could finish it. I could become fluent I don't think that I could learn how to write. Here's my thing with Chinese. I don't think that I will, unless I spend a lot of time on it, I don't think that I'll ever learn how to write. I have a very bad memory for, writing characters. I can read fine. It's just, I can't store them in my brain for some reason. Like, I know, see, I haven't been studying in a long time, but like, there's no uptick here. There's an uptick there. I don't even know if that's right for me. I missed the little, yeah, see? It has little things right there. And then, yeah, I can't type it because when you type characters, you type them with pinyin, which is their, like, pronunciation. And the, oh god. That's not how it was written. That's the wrong character. Oh yeah, I missed a ton. It's... oh no, there's also this. And I also write them in completely the wrong order. Cause, okay. What is the order? Well, there's some ones where they're like easier. This is 1. I made it 3 now. 1. Oh shit, 2 is the one on top longer or shorter? I think it's the one on the bottom is shorter. And then what other ones do I know? This is good. This is a measurement word. Hey! Trying to see what other characters. I don't even know how to write my own name. I could find it if I typed it. Hold on. We're going on a tangent now. My keyboard is now Chinese. Oh, I need a Chinese font. Chinese. Add font from files? Or how do I need... Chinese font. Free Chinese fonts. Okay. Oh god, okay, yes, this one I can read. I don't know if you've ever had this when you're like learning a different language and then it's different than the font that you're used to and you're like, ugh! How do I read this? Download font. Yes. Install. Maybe we'll have Chinese streams at some point where I'm practicing speaking. No, I'm not using the font. Because the thing is that I'm good at speaking and listening. That is my, like, my forte. I don't know why it isn't. Add font from files. Wait, I think that was just because it wasn't expanded. Text. What? Edit font from files. Downloads? Yeah, maybe it's in? Source. Okay, we're doing a thing where I can type it and then screenshot it. Can I copy this? Screenshot. Wants me to save it to Pinterest. Oh, don't do text. There we go. So it's like... It's generally... And I'm pretty sure that's not how you do squares either. This is... on... go away. Lee. That's my name in Chinese. I did it correctly. Yes. I don't remember what Han means. Li is, I think, shit. Hang on, let me run through my mind palace. I think that Han is my family name. I was given my name because it, like, phonetically sounds like my name. Han Li Ali. But I don't know if I've like, fully looked up what it means. Oh, I'm still in Chinese, hold on. I think it would be fun to do, like, a Chinese learning stream at some point. Maybe once I've finished one of my projects. Will you let me type? Oh, it's just very small font. Yeah. I think I'd do it where it's like... I would not be teaching, to be clear. It would be more of, watch Allie make mistakes. But, I probably would want to, like, review from the very beginning, at least. And the, I still have all my textbooks. The textbook that I like to use, it, like, has a dialogue thing, and then each time you, like, add on more words. I enjoy it, partially because it, like, focuses so much on, like, speaking. And that is my strong suit, but... I did actually, at one point, I got very into, like, not, so it was, I was kind of trying to keep up my practice of learning, and so what I was doing was I was, when I would play D&D, I would write my character's journal entries in Chinese. And I let myself do it incredibly badly. Because I wanted to just make sure that I was doing it. And that worked really well for me. Because I was practicing, and I would occasionally look up new words. And so I think the best description that I could give for the quality of my work was that it probably looked like a children wrote it, like a child wrote it, except for it was about very dark topics. Because I was using very, like, simple sentence structures, and I was also just kind of making up shit. But it was genuinely, like, I think one of the better times for me learning, because it meant that I was trying it in ways that, like, that I was actually needing the words. Which is my main, like, critique with the textbook that I've been learning, where it's like, I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of options to use, I don't have a lot of opportunities to practice Chinese in my, like, daily life. And some of the words that they'd cover would be very much hello. Like, I wouldn't get to use those words at all in, like, a typical context, so I'd have to, like, I would end up losing the knowledge of those words. Like, for example, the main time that I get to, like, that I get exposed to Chinese on a daily basis is that I live very close to a Chinese restaurant. And I would love to practice ordering or to be able to read more things on the menu, but because there is only a very limited amount of things covered, I couldn't really, like, there are some things that I'd recognize and that would be very exciting, but the more that I could do that, the more that I would be, like, continually, like, firing that part of my brain. Hope that makes sense. But and then the other thing is, like, I would love to know words related to my interests, where it's like, I know that, I'm pretty sure that, D&D isn't that popular in Chinese, and so there isn't translations. I think, because I was looking for if there was a translation of, like, the different classes and that kind of thing for when I was writing my characters' journals in Chinese. But I couldn't find that kind of thing. That's a part of why, as a part of learning, I want to play Cyberpunk. There's numbers out after it. Hold on. It's the 2077. Yeah, because they have it dubbed and lip synced to Chinese. And that would be able to give me, like, such a much broader base of words. And that's not the way that I was wanting it to go. Would I be able to follow along with what is going on? Probably not. I have a friend who's obsessed with the game, though, so I'd probably end up playing with him, of like, hey, what is going on? But I think it would be fun. Again, in the hell of Allie has too many things to do. I have actually cut down on the amount of things that I'm doing, if you can believe it. I used to do a lot more. And I think it's just gonna have to, like, slowly settle down over time as I become okay with, like, not doing certain things. Or, like, certain projects fall apart, that kind of thing. Because I used to, on top of all of the things that y'all see me do, I used to cosplay. And I would generally make a new cosplay for every single convention. I had the last time that I cosplayed, I was absolutely, like, in crunch for the entire thing. And, I didn't even finish it to the way that I wanted it to look. And that was such like a... Okay, you haven't worked on any other projects for the last few weeks, and it didn't even come out how you wanted it to. Is this where you want your time to be spent, or do you want to spend your time on other things? And I had to, like, have a long sit down with myself. And I actually threw away most of that costume that way. Like, I wouldn't, like, keep on going back to, like, I need to finish it. I have some of it, though. But it was actually Byleth from Fire Emblem. And I don't want to say I may finish it someday. I would much more likely commission somebody to do it just that way I could wear it. Because I miss conventions. And I do want, like, a cosplay that I could wear. But if I was gonna pay to have somebody, like, make a cosplay for me, I would probably actually do, Male Robin from, Fire Emblem Awakening. I'm gonna be honest, main reason, I want his coat. His coat is rad. But that is also a thing that would take up money. Ugh. I, alas, must save at the moment. That's very big. To be like, okay, here's how we're gonna do this. Because I need this to be in front, while also, like, not that. So I'm gonna select this, and then I'm gonna deselect this. Delete selection, and then delete selection. Okay, yes. So now I can do this on top of everything. Oh, there we go. Now it looks all janky, so we're gonna go over it. Can I just mask this? Hey, yeah. I don't want to draw on the mask. There's so many projects and so little time in life. I think the thing that always gets me is, like, I get so excited about a thing where I'm like, oh, I would have so much fun doing that. That would make me so happy. But there's many more things in my life that would make me happy than things that I can physically do with my time. And so I'm like, oh, I'm doing this thing now. I'm so happy. And then I'm like, I don't physically have time to do all of them. And I think it's hard to give up things that are making you happy, even if, like, you have too many of them. That's a part of why I don't play games on stream. Even though, like, I could. I have it set up. I've done it twice, I think. Is because, like, streaming is something that I enjoy doing. And is effectively a net zero in time. Because I am working on other projects that I would have to work on during that week anyways. And so it's just kind of like a zero cost fun. Or very limited cost. Because, like, I sometimes spend time looking at, like, the new overlay that we got and the new model. But it is still, like, a very limited, time cost compared to other things that I do. Probably other people. Yeah. I just not sleep. Yeah, sleeping is good. Sleeping makes you actually have more fun. So really, sleep is also a zero cost thing. If you think about it. Because it makes you do other things faster. Hilarious this again. I'm sleeping, I ain't working. But, so there's a graph of this. We can make a graph. So if this is... I'm gonna do a color that's easier to see. So this is the sleep. This is the work. If you have no sleep, you're not going... You may be working all of the time, but you're not being productive. If you are sleeping all of the time, you are also not working all of the time. If you are sleeping, like, 12 hours of the day, that is technically oversleeping. 12, 4, 8. So anything over, I think it's 10, starts to go down. Like 8 and 10 are about at the same amount. So it's kind of like a chart like this. I believe for like young adults, because the peak of this moves to the left as you get older. And as you're like younger, it moves to the right. We're like, I live my life with 8 hours or 4 hours of sleep, and I'm the most productive I can be. See, with the logic of you need less sleep as you get older, you've outed yourself as an old man. You are an old man at heart. Grandpa Gale. Adult, you need only, I think that is the amount that you technically need. Hang on. How many hours of sleep? National Institutes of Health. Less than 7 hours of sleep will have more health issues than those who sleep 7 or more hours. Sleeping more than 9 hours a night is not necessarily harmful and may be helpful for young adults, people who are recovering from sleep deprivation, people who are sick. It's a haggard grail. That is actually, knowing that you should be sleeping 9 or more hours a night is actually helpful for me, because I'm like, I know that doctors say that you should be sleeping more, but you have not given me enough information. What is more? Is more 10? See, my problem is that whenever I don't sleep for too long, or like whenever I don't sleep enough, or I've just had a very tiring day, my body will just make me oversleep, and then my body's like, I'm mad. Yeah, and like, if I get less than 8, there is a noticeable difference for me. Like, anxiety's worse, and just like, a bunch of things, and so I try to have 8 as like a minimum. And then whatever else it be. I sleep more tired. I feel the most awake and wired up after being up 24 hours. That may be adrenaline. Is this shadow? Yeah, I have heard of the shadow creatures. I've never seen one. I technically have never stayed up for 24 hours, I don't believe. The shadow creatures are a myth that they are my spooky ghosts. I would love to never see them. Oh god! Eliminate your bodies, like, you must get 10 hours of sleep so that never happens again. Yeah, I know that, like, at a certain point of sleep deprivation, because of course I know this, I'm a writer, like, you start basically like, you start having, I forget what they're called, but they're like, your body knocks itself out for like a few seconds at a time, like micro naps, is that what they're called? And it's like, I found that fascinating. Yep. Sit down and just half an hour passed. Yeah, so I had that when, I had been sleeping, but I had that at one point, and I was like, little Allie was like, I time traveled into the future. Because it was like, I literally blinked and it was like 2 hours. I don't know what happened. I mean, like, children's bodies are building flesh. There's probably just random shit that happens sometimes for no real explanation. But it did freak me out. Okay, where's my... Oh yeah, Sahari, what do you think of my many layers? None of them are named. I made the thumbnails big though, that way I could generally see what was on them. This was the layer that I was looking for. Listen, I'm doing something weird now, so I don't have as good of a handle on where my layers are. But typically, like, here, let's open where it's like, we have the different layers of the different colors with a liner layer. Honestly, it's not doing anything right now. And then we have the overpainting layers. And then we have some effects layers. So it's organized, it's just not named. feel like I need to set this up differently if I want to do decoration like this. Because this causes me physical pain. Like, with the fact that I can't mirror it. Because these stars are slightly offset as well. We're gonna call that good. Namely because I don't want to work on the border anymore. I don't think that it necessarily adds to the piece much. I honestly think that it's better if they're gone. Hate that. I just don't think that it works that well. I think that the comedy and tragedy masks work. Can I make this? Can I salvage this? I think that this is just straight up better. Well, we've learned. Oh god. Let's see, we're going to noon today. Let's see. What do we want to draw? I kind of want to draw a close to Chippy. Because I think that'd be cute. She's very tall, so she's gonna be 3 heads tall. One, 2, 3. And then she is my stupid little girl. I call most characters that I enjoy stupid. She is my... What would be a good way to describe her? She is my my scheming attention whore. She's basically her family's like walking advertisement. And so she's like, I will like she is like a songstress, and because of like the war going on, she like her family doesn't have like the amount of funding to like kind of keep their position in society right now. And she's like a pre-debut opera singer. If you've played Fire Emblem Three Houses, she's a descendant of Dorothea. And so she is trying to get like she's basically gone, okay, I can't debut right now because there isn't enough money in the arts. And there won't be until the war is over. And so I'm going to go and throw massive parties for the lords who are, like, I'm going to party plan the strategic meetings. That way I can get audience with these different lords, get blackmail on them, and that way I can keep my family alive that way. Or I'll figure out how to end the war. Or I'll help them end the war with whichever side winning. I don't care. I just need to be able to perform. Or alternatively, whoever sponsors my family, I will be on your side. Which is why I find her incredibly funny, where it's like, cause something that I love about the like, how Fire Emblem writes its characters is that they're very much like tropes with extra layers, like that go in a way that you don't expect them to, I should say. And like I want a character who's kind of constantly pitching herself and like vying to be the center of attention, and it's like, no, she's doing this because like she is constantly like on the clock of like effectively like I need to pitch my business. You are not my friend, you are my possible consumer. And I need this because otherwise my family's gonna go bankrupt. And then, which I think will be fun for like roleplay reasons, because she's also like throwing these big parties she'll be like kind of setting up roleplay opportunities for other characters, which is something that I, as a perpetual DM, am like, I need to be thinking about that. And then, I think that'll be really fun for when people, like, when characters start to see her kind of drop her guard and drop her act, and, like, see her outside of, like, oh, I'm working you, to, like, oh, no, this is who I am. Where it's, like, she is someone who genuinely loves singing. Like, this isn't, like, yeah, she's under a lot of pressure from the situation. Like, under a lot of pressure from, like, her family to, like, do well and figure out how to make them, like, stable again. But, if she wasn't a member of that family, she wouldn't have gotten the training that she did. And I need to be on a different brush. And like, she doesn't want to, like, if she was given the chance to, like, if she wasn't under the pressure of, like, oh yeah, no, this is a tough situation, or, like, when she's debuting and all of that, and, like, all of the pressure that she's under, she wouldn't go and do something else. This is genuinely what she wants to do. Like, if that pressure just suddenly evaporated, like, if she got, like, sponsored and, by another noble family, or she's from a noble family, if she got, like, patronage from a noble family, she wouldn't just, like, she doesn't have another, like, burning desire. This is her burning desire. If she got that sponsorship, she would just debut. And do the thing that she loves. Without the, like, without the stress of having to do it perfectly. Which I think a lot of the times when we see things about, like, characters being under pressure, especially when it's things regarding families, it's like they don't it's a big part of the conflict is this isn't what the character wants to do. The character wants to go do something else. We actually see that in Fire Emblem Three Houses with Ignatz. Ignatz wants to be a painter. His family is like a family of merchants, and he's not the one who's going to like inherit the family business and that kind of stuff, and so they're sending him to go train to be a knight. He's a very good painter. He would much rather be a painter, but this is kind of the path that his family has chosen for him. I think that is like I don't think that it's necessarily bad that there's a lot of stories told about that, because I think that is a common struggle that people have. I just want to more tell a story about, like, I want to tell a story about somebody who's under a lot of pressure and that is genuinely what they want to do. But they can't do it the way that they want to because of the pressure that they're under. Because I think it's neat. I don't know how to do, like, lipstick lips in Chibi. I don't think that you do, generally. But yeah, I get to write. I'm writing her first scene right after stream today. Oh, big stretch. I was just like, I don't know where the dog is, and she's right behind me and she's falling asleep, but now I've woken her up. She had an eventful morning. We went over to my family's place and watched the Formula One race. Which, the thing that Via was very excited about was that she got to sit in people's laps. She's a simple beast. Oh. Also, I've found the. So I've been struggling with, like, figuring out, because it gets so cold where I live. I was like, how are we meaning me? How am I going to, like, keep the dog exercised this winter? Because there is a dog run, where I live, but also, it's like, it gets so cold that she literally can't, like, while she's going to the bathroom, she will, like, start kind of limping. Not because she's hurt, and she's fine when she goes inside, but just because her feet are cold and she doesn't want them on the ground. And so I was, like, trying to figure out, like, okay, how much would you want to play? And, like, when would we do that in the day? And I figured out, it's an incredibly funny exercise for me, when I'm, like, just incorporating her into my exercises outside of, like, DDR, of course. I don't think that she's smart enough to do that. But, like, when doing crunches, holding one of her little toys, and then like whenever I'd like curl up, I'd like put it in front of me because I use my hands when I'm doing it, not like to push myself up, but just like going forward. So I'd hold one of her toys, and then she'd like whenever I like curled up, she would run up after it and like go, "Arr!" And then I'd go back down. Then she'd like drop it and leave it alone and stare at me. And I go back up again. She's very excited. She's like, when I'm like doing my shoulder exercise and that kind of thing, she is like a little, I'll hold the toy and she's like a little weight. I think that would be fun to like try to measure how much weight, how much like resistance she's putting on. But she's been very much enjoying that. Sleep now. Hang on, I'm gonna go bother her. Cord stuck. She's gonna fall asleep again. She brings me so much joy. I just love having another being in the house. Where it's the kind of thing of like, I don't know, there is a certain amount of comfort to, like, because I think especially as, like, a woman who's, like, there's a little bit of a spookness of living, and then I have her, where she, granted, she barks at a lot of things, but, I do know that if somebody comes to the door late at night and I am not there to tell her that it's okay, she gets mad. Which I'm very proud of her for. She's my guard dog. She is absolutely tiny, but can sound ferocious. Lighting effects. I like how I'm breaking this into layers, like I'm gonna fully paint it. It's just a little chippy drawing. Yeah, actually, for what I'm doing, I actually do need these all in one layer. Want this color. It's more like blue tone in the original one, right? No, I guess it's yellow. Yeah, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the color expansion thing. Not that. You not figure out how you want to sit? She is just the tiniest bit too big to be on like a sitting like chair lap unless you've got your hands to kind of help her. So like she keeps on tucking her like her back feet back up onto my lap. So this is specifically if she's laying down. Now she's sitting, so she's doing fine. Don't sniff my ocarina. Just knocked over glass. Hi! My doofus. Okay. I was like, no. I had a peanut butter snack before session last night. Oh, Moxie's campaign is finished. Hello? Hello? Yeah, you are incredibly weird. I say this as she's not the weirdest one at the house. Come on. She's pressing her like entire body weight against the arm that's doing like the keyboard controls. You are a goober. This just looks like shading. Edit. Color replace. Color replace. Is there a thing that's replace color? Right? Am I wrong? I may be wrong. Yeah. Apply to connected pixels only. She's trying to put her head on the elbow of my drawing arm, but it keeps on moving. She's looking at me so disappointed. Is this not really working out for you? She's like, Mom! Mom, I want a nap. Oh, you're so eepy. Oh yeah, but, Moxie's, campaign finished. We killed the Lord, who had been, absolutely, like, terrorizing the citizens, turning them into, creatures for the flesh machine. There was an incredibly funny moment at the end, where, because this is, like, I think a series of mini-campaigns that the DM is doing to, like, kind of build out their world before they run a full-length campaign in it. And so he was like, okay, because a king that is not ordained by the gods is currently, in control of the land, the star gods don't actually avert any crises, they just postpone them. And so because there is a king that is not in their favor, presiding over the land, I am now going to roll, like, 2d10 on the calamities table that, he had for this exact, like, situation. And we were all like, oh shit, so we just saved, like, all of these people, and yet things keep on going. Which, like, yeah, we didn't unseat the king, we just saved, like, the local area. But it was incredibly funny. I think, we, not us, but, like, in the lands, a, like, eldritch god got unleashed, and I don't remember what the other thing was. Oh, fears became manifest. So, like, kind of Chainsaw Man, she just let out the biggest sigh. Like, Chainsaw Man rules, like, things that were feared became, like, physical things. yeah, it was a fun end of the mini campaign. I can see where the system's going with. So it was in Draw Steel, and it was my first time playing Draw Steel. I can see where it was going with what it wanted to do, where it wanted to be a very tactics combat based like system. I think that there were a lot of things that it added that were mostly just bloat. That I think that if they removed, the game would have been easier to understand. Not that it was necessary. There were some things that were a bit difficult to understand, where it was like, so every character has a unique, like, kind of resource that they're building up throughout the time between long rests. I have mixed opinions on whether they should all be uniquely named. I was initially very hard against, because I was like, this is just adding in complexity to something that doesn't need to be complex. You can just call it heroicism or whatever. I do get, like, the flavoring element of, like, my character was a fury, so they were getting, like, I don't even remember what it was. It was like rage or something. So they were flavored to the class. The names of them. But you also gained them all at slightly different rates. Like, and it didn't even seem to be for balancing purposes, where it was like I gained 1d3 per turn, and the, like, cleric equivalent was gained 2 per turn, which I think math-wise is basically equivalent. So it's like, why do that? Because if you have it all be the same, then when somebody can't remember how much they're supposed to gain, somebody else can say, oh yeah, it's all the same. I look at my character sheet, I see that I get 2, you also get 2. So it's just little things like that I had critiques with in, like, the complexity regard. And then there was also so I basically never used, so we gained these resources. I basically never used my 5-cost one. And at the end of the like, campaign, had, so it was ferocity, that's what it was called. I had so much ferocity because I used 1 per turn, sometimes, and I also, like, I used 1 per turn. There was never a reason for me to use any of my abilities that cost something. Because, okay, I don't like how they did saving throws. So they did saving throws where it was like, if you have a, like, I'm going to use D&D terms because I think that's probably what we're the most familiar with. If you have, like, a +3 strength, or if you have a +2 strength or below, you are affected by this thing. And if you have a, like, +3 or above, then you are unaffected. Now, this seems fine on first glance until you consider the fact that, like, okay, if all that somebody, so this is what happened with me, because I wasn't, like, a magic person or whatever, all of my things were strength-based. And the opponent, like, both of the boss opponents that we fought were both, like, high strength. So it became a thing where I never should use my abilities because they would automatically fail. I don't think that automatic failures are like, if a character is absurdly good at a thing, then automatic failures are fun. and that is a, like, awe feature that you're trying to evoke, where it's like, oh yeah, this person is so scary that there is no chance that you could do anything about them. But it was a weird thing of, like, my characters, like, their thing was, like, they were very strong. I would never be able to be hit by my own abilities. Which was odd. Like, it was odd that there was no chance. And so it created the thing of, like, my abilities, which had very cool names, were useless compared to, or were the same amount of power compared to my, you can use this, like, every turn with no cost. So my one that was, like, my 5-cost one was, they had cool names too. I did like their names. But it was, like, the max damage that I could do with it was I did like how they did damage with the hits. I like that their hits automatically hit. I think that you should do automatic or have a very slight chance to dodge. I do not think that generally, I do not think that there should be, if there is a high chance for things to not hit, that should be a feature of the character, not a feature of the system. A feature of either character who is in that combat. So, like, somebody who is very good at dodging and avoiding things, or somebody who is very good at, or very bad at hitting things. I was gonna say very good at not hitting things. Yeah, so I like that. But my max damage on my 5-cost thing was 13. My max damage on my signature ability, which I could use as many times as I wanted, it was effectively almost like a basic strike, was 12, but I could push 2, and my character's entire class identity was around pushing. Now, if you're asking, well, did your thing that cost a bunch do anything else? Yeah. It could apply bleed. That would only do it if they had, if I rolled max, if they had, less than 2 might. So they had to not be, like, they had to be slightly strong or less. And if I got, there was like 3 tiers of success. And if I got lower, then, like, I had a lot of modifiers to my dice, but if I got lower than a certain amount, then it would be anyone who had 0 might and below, and then, like, -1, I think, was the last one. It was like, it's a weird choice to, I fully lost one of my hair strands. It's a weird choice to make it so that way your players may have no chance of succeeding. And I don't think that it's a good choice. Granted, my character was still incredibly useful if they weren't hitting things, with their, like, strong attacks. Because my character's, a big part of my character's build was that they pushed people. And pushing people into walls does damage, which I like that this system does. There's no mechanic for that in 5e, and I think that's dumb. I think that the best way to, like, homebrew it into D&D is to make them take equivalent falling damage to the distance that they have been pushed, which does mean that they take very little damage. But so my character would do, so you know how I said that my character would do a max of 13 damage on their big, cool, awesome strike? Their normal strike would do a max of 12, and it would push them 2. And whenever my character pushed people, they pushed them an extra 2. Or no, that's only when they do the knockback maneuver. But whenever they push people, they can trigger their, like, their reaction to, so the attack actually pulls them. But instead to, use their reaction to, I actually don't know if I was using this right. I think you have to do it on a separate creature, so I was actually messing it up last time, but I did do it correctly before. But I can, basically, instead of pulling a creature, push a creature. And it adds another 2 to their movement on pushing. And I can also spend a ferocity point to make it 4 instead, so I can push them 6. Each time that they hit a wall, or another creature, if they hit a wall, they take 1 damage per time that they hit the wall. If they hit another creature, both of them take that damage. So the maximum damage on my signature strike, remember the one that doesn't cost anything, is 12 plus 6 plus another 6, because I could hit it to another creature. So that's 24 damage versus 13. And it cost nothing. And also I had insane movement, so I could position myself just near somebody who could get hit by this. So that was a weird balancing thing. But it was that kind of thing where I was like, if you're going to be a tactics-based game, this kind of shit needs to be on lock. And it really just didn't feel that. Like, I'm building a tabletop system right now. Something that I really need to keep in mind as I'm doing that is, like, I need to do a lot of playtesting. I do a lot of playtesting because it's a relatively tactical based one. Like, it would be fine. Like, I have run an entire campaign without much tactics in it. There's one campaign that I ran that had no combat. They had 2 combats. Just because, like, I wasn't really into running combat at that time. I do really like fun combat. But I think it's, like, I really like hyper-tactical stuff, and it's hard to get players into that. While also having very, like, story-intense, players, so. It is something that I would love to have at some point, but I think that I need to build my own system, and then the other thing that I'm doing with that is the same kind of vibes as, like in video games where it teaches you how to play during the game. You don't have to spend time outside of the game. Like reading a rule book or watching YouTube videos. That is something that I'm going to, like, incorporate into the story of the campaign. Because I think that's been the biggest barrier when I'm trying to introduce new people to new sessions, is there is an expectation that you can just jump into it. It's like, no, if you're running anything other than D&D, you need to do that, like, tutorial level. And it's like the systems that I've had the most fun with have been ones where there's either been somebody teaching me, like, over, like, say I'm playing and they're Like, I can text them, like, hey, I don't know how this thing works. Or it's been one where it was like a very D&D-like system because that's my kind of base knowledge. I probably should select this based off of the line work. Connected pixels, like, yeah. Wait, can I do the route? I do want to add this. To add the subtract this? Subtract this. Yeah, do not refer to multiple. I'll look at it later. There we go. That's cute. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. Today we finished the Callista drawing. We did a drawing of a Callista chibi, and we drew Chinese characters, and we talked about sleep schedules. I think I'm gonna end stream today. Let me pull up my thing. Let's send y'all over to Peppermint Swirl. As a reminder, I stream Saturdays and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I generally do art and occasionally get on wild tangents. I hope to see you then. Bye-bye. Did I mess it up? Did we go?